because it's like really late at night and my entire family are like so yeah, I just love to whisper. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to say that I sometimes think it's okay to not talk about your problems, basically, because sometimes your problems are valued by other people, and I don't mean that like when you talk to people, like you're sharing your problem with them, and people always say about like talking helps, and it, for some people it does, and I'm sure for them it really does. But I find with like my experience with him talking to people is that I just always think that at the end of the day, really, they don't really care. Like, they're not gonna think about my problem when they go home. They're not gonna think about my problem and like the week after. They're not thinking about my problem when they're doing whatever they're doing in like an hour or in a month's time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I was doing there, but my point is though is that yeah, like they shouldn't be thinking about your problem. Like your life isn't really their problem. They have got their own life, but in my mind, it's like my problem matters a lot to me, like a lot. And I just think, like when I'm talking to someone, whenever it's anyone, it's that they just don't really care, and that they might be listening now, but they don't. They're not actually taking it in. It's kind of like really hard to explain. It's like life though. Like we've all got problems, and to be honest, we can't all help each other. People say that we can't, and we can help each other in a way, but solve problems. I just think if we can't solve our problems, then no one else is really gonna like solve it for us. Like, for example, recently, I remember talking to my dad about a problem that I had, and this is like my dad's like you should be able to talk to your dad or parent or whatever, like your guardian, someone that you trust a lot in your life. And he kind of just dismissed it. He kind of acted like it didn't matter. That I guess he should. The problem, it wasn't like a light problem. It wasn't a huge problem, but it was a problem that like really mattered to me. Yeah, he just kind of dismissed it, and I kind of like I felt like really hurt by it. But my point is that from what I gained from that is I just think then if I can't really speak to my dad about just a problem that I had, how am I meant to speak to others that like don't really know me or like aren't really as meant to be as aren't meant to really like, care about me as much as my dad. So yeah, and because basically this problem it wasn't like a light problem, so my dad just dismissed it. He just basically acted like it didn't matter because there are more important things going on in the world, there are more bigger things to deal with, which I like understand, but I just those things going on, they don't really affect me, and I know that's like probably like really selfish to say, but at the same time, it's just not affecting me at that moment in time. Whereas my problem, my personal problem was, I just kind of felt like he didn't really help. I think kind of that like experience that I had has just made me kind of think with other people when I talk to them about anything. It doesn't even have to be a problem. It can be about anything that they just don't really care. It's like the way that like they respond, that they like the lack of interest when you just speak to them, and like obviously I did say before about like how they're not gonna be thinking about it, which is like I get it. That's for more like if you do have a problem, but I just think in general like just talking to people sometimes they excited in, or something that like not excited in, they're excited about, or something that they may even be worried about. I always want to like listen to them. I don't know why, but sometimes like I feel like I care more about other people's problems than they probably do about mine. I just kind of like I wish I didn't do that. But then it's also like I'm like I don't know. It's also like really weird when you like overthink about it because you then start to like question not only like their like lack of care for like your problems or whatever you've got to say. You start to question like do they even like care about you at all? Do they even respect you at all? Do they even like you at all? It like does really make you think because if they don't really care like about like whatever you're talking about, why are they really gonna care about you at all? It kind of like hurts to think about it because you'll feel like sometimes like well not sometimes you'll just feel like that you like them more than they like you necessarily, which is a really like hard thing to think about. And I think it's like I think I actually have that with a few people that I think I like them, I care about them more than they think or like about me. It just is. And this is why basically I won't get into it. Basically, like this is why if talking about this, it's like even like talking about it, it doesn't make me feel better. It just like feels like reflection. Anyone like you talk to, I don't really feel like they. I just don't really. This is my opinion. I just don't really feel like they help. I wish they could, but it just doesn't feel like it. I don't know whether I'm just being like really naive. I'm just being quite stupid. It's just really like, it's so hard to say because everyone says talking about it is good, and I do agree with that. I just don't think talking about everything good. Like every problem that you have, we all have like even the smallest problems. I don't really know like kind of what I'm talking about it. But the point is basically I just we should really shit everything. Because at the end of the day, no one really cares. Not truly, no one really cares. Like, they all have their own problems. Why do they really care about your problem? And it's fit. I know I like kind of rumbled on there a little bit. Yeah, I do that a lot. But I basically just want to say that I do think talking helps a lot. I just don't think it is as effective as what people make it out to be. So yeah, basically, yeah. That's basically